What's up, y'all? It's TJ from Huntsville, Alabama. And while I'm clocking these coins at work, you know I gotta listen to DJ J Thrill in the Red Light Basement on my favorite station, Global R&B.
You're catching the thrill through your speaker box. You're banging the hits with Mr. Make It Happen himself.
DJ J Thrill. All right, we back in the lab with a pen and a pad, back in the Red Light Basement, I should say. I still got my girl Rose J kicking it with me.
Hey, what's going on?
So I throw it alive and she dunk it every time. She always ready. All right, Rose J. This one right here, we gonna have to talk about something interesting. I seen this topic. I was like, oh, I got to get Rose J on the air and talk about this one. Got to talk about this one. So, if you would indulge me for a second, Rose, we are going to talk about virginity, and I don't know if I'm a virgin or not. I really don't know.
Dang, you don't know?
At this age, hold on. You said, damn, hold on. Let me get that for you. Damn. I don't know at this age of 38 if I'm a virgin or not. Because apparently, I knew I had a choice, Rose, if I could be, when I wanted to lose my virginity, but I didn't know. You know what? Let's take a listen to this. Take a listen to this real quick. I want your opinion on this.
Okay.
Because the truth is, what if instead of losing something, we reframe it as gaining? Because the truth is, when we make our own decision to become sexually active, we aren't setting ourselves up to lose anything at all. We hope we are gaining things like intimacy, self-insight, pleasure, and empowerment. All of these myths around sex and virginity can be so hurtful and overwhelming.
Damn.
But here's the one truth you should remember.
Okay, talk to me.
Sex is defined by one thing and one thing only: you. Maybe that's being fingered for the first time.
Damn.
Maybe it's having anal sex.
Little
Maybe
nasty.
it's having a first orgasm. Maybe it's masturbating for the first time, or when you enthusiastically consent to sex. That's the beauty of your sexual journey. You're in charge, and you can figure it out on your own terms. Choosing to have sex, when, what kind, where, who with, is something that only you get to define.
Damn.
I bullshit.
Yeah. So let's go back to that. It says virginity is a completely made up concept, according to a newly released Planned Parenthood video intended for middle school and high school.
Oh my Lord Jesus!
So at this age of 38, I'm trying to decide. Did I lose my virginity? Did I gain? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm more confused now than ever. Maybe you can help me understand, Rose. What you think about this?
I mean, this is so confusing to me because I feel like with every new generation, I feel like there is like this sort of new teaching. I don't know. For me, I don't know whether or not this is something they truly believe or this is something they're trying to do to be relevant in the eyes of like the newest generation. I'm not really sure. To me, I feel like, and maybe it's different because I'm 38 and so I grew up in a different time, and so it's like anytime I hear like something crazy like that, to me that sounds absolutely insane, that you don't lose anything, you're gaining something. When I'm in middle school, I'm not thinking about, oh, I'm gaining new insight onto how many men I'm going to have sex with this week, what positions we're going to be in. I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. Like that's just me. I'm thinking, for me, virginity represents more than just like the status of my underparts, I guess. I think for me, it represents more of just innocence. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this is the thing. To some degree, in order for you to gain something, at some point in your life, you have to lose something. I think that spills over into more than just like the virginity aspect. Mm-hmm. I don't think that you can go through life just, I don't know, just sort of taking things on without losing something. I think that in this instance, if you are going to be gaining insight, you are losing your innocence. You're losing an aspect of yourself that really is associated with childhood. And what bothers me more than anything is that it's not even just something that is being shared with high schoolers, but middle schoolers too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, high schoolers, I guess I can kind of understand where this is going, but it's just for middle schools. I feel like that's just like, I don't think that that's something that really should just be introduced. But again, I'm from a different time, so I just don't think so. I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about it and opening up about it, but this is sort of a new belief that's just like, I don't know if I can rock with that because it's just not what I was brought up to believe.
So, when we was coming up, I also, in middle school, I also didn't have a cell phone yet. I didn't get a cell phone until senior year, There's a lot of things that we didn't experience that the kids are experiencing now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like how they picture, how they make this thing sound like, hey, I'm not gonna, so Rose, tell you about myself. I've done a lot of bad things, even sexually in my life. Even when I was young, I didn't lose my virginity until 18, senior year. But I did some of the things in the video, like the finger stuff, But I'm just trying to figure out when did, she was like, she made it seem so, I don't know, I want to say cavalier, it's like fingering or anal sex or oral sex, and yeah, you get
whatever you want with whoever you want. It's all your choice. You can do whatever. You can be a hoe if you want to. No, you can be a hoe. That's cool.
They're telling the way I pictured this, and I tied this into my mind. Like, you just told these kids that getting pumped in the butt is innocent. I just don't. She said anal sex, oral sex. Like, man. Now, granted, I know that some kids, even middle schoolers, are gaining, whatever she want to say, losing their virginity, their innocence at a young age. But I don't like the way the conversation is so cavalier, so nonchalant. It's just like,
you're talking to people. You're talking to a totally different demographic who's probably not. They don't even know who they are yet, and you're talking about them engaging in some sort of intimate experience with someone else who they also don't know who they are, and you guys coming together and making such a mature decision that could result in some crazy consequences.
Babies, STDs. Now, hey, the way she made it sound like, and I had to say it again, ain't no sex, like, hey, she made it sound like it's nothing. So, hey, let me put it in there. Oh, now we got all kind of bacteria on your stuff, and then you're gonna turn around and put it in the front. And now we, what I'm saying? This is the thing.
This is normalized now. Now, if we're talking to middle schoolers about this, like, this is just like, well, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and open it up, and we're gonna just talk about this. I'm like, it's okay to have open conversations about these things because it's everywhere. Yes. So we can have open conversations, but just because we can doesn't mean we need to abuse it. And so now we're talking to children about these things. It's like they just, whatever happened to just staying in a child's place? What happened to that?
I wonder why the conversation, and I know people are going to say, well, this is a new generation, kids are different. Why is the conversation abstinence, like, wait, or maybe or practice safe sex? And I'll teach. Me as a 38-year-old father of a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, I preach abstinence. Now, I did a poll on Facebook, and not many parents of this generation agree with me because they said teenagers are going to be teenagers regardless. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe yours. Yeah. My kids tell me that they're still virgins, and I pray that they're telling me the truth. You know what I mean? 'Cause I know the children that I raised. Now, now, granted, everybody says that, like, you the kids always put on a good front, and like, cause I seen some badass kids that don't care what their parents see. You know what I mean? So
right, and I grew up with kids like that too.
Exactly. So my thing is, well, I don't think that this particular video is preaching or teaching the right thing. I think maybe they should go more along the lines of the abstinence of practice safe sex, and we're worried about you saying how to reframe the word virginity, not losing but gaining. Yeah, okay. I was raised by a very hard man, my father and my mother too. Mm-hmm. And they did not sugarcoat nothing. They called a spade, maintain your innocence. They tried to, I grew up in a Christian household, and I ain't gonna say I did everything right, but I tried, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I just think that this right here, it minimizes the situation, and it's very nonchalant, and I don't think that's how we should approach the conversation. I'm very direct with my children as teenagers. Mm-hmm. So I know they see things that maybe I didn't see, but I think I probably did. I ain't gonna lie. I think I probably seen more in my life than they seen in theirs. But when I was a teenager, but I don't know now. I didn't have social media, so I think the peer pressure is different at this age for them.
Right.
But that's why it's my job to teach them. I don't know if I really want the school teaching them. If that's what they're gonna be teaching right there with that video right there.
Not at all. Not at all. That's a very unpopular opinion. And I think that and this is me. I think that whenever I see things like that, it speaks to a very specific person. And I always think about like kids raising kids. So there may be and it may not be. I'm not talking about everybody, but there may be some young people who have kids who have that belief system. So they're kind of like, well, you know, we just gonna go with it because that's just how kids are these days. But just like you said, I don't think it's necessarily that kids are just this way these days. I think it's more so that they're just exposed to a lot more because of social media. Because back in the day, we didn't have social media growing up. Like, we got social media after we became adults. And then that's when we really started becoming more exposed to things. And now we see things that other, like, children are seeing, you know? And so I think that that's what's happening, is they're becoming influenced by all the stuff that they're seeing. I saw, it was someone who said something, and it was probably on social media, and they were like, you know, back in the day, if you liked a girl and you would ask her for a picture, you could ask her for a picture in her whatever, her underwear, whatever. Now all you gotta do is get on Instagram and you can see it. I'm like, it's just becoming too convenient. You can see whatever you want, whenever you want, and that's just what it is. And kids are having these same accesses. So it's not that the kids are bad. It's not that the kids are like necessarily just loose out here, just being loose. It's because they're influenced, because they're trying to mimic what adults are doing. You know, they're trying to mimic what just older people in general are doing. They think that that's cool, and that's being grown.
As us as adults and the parents, we got to guard that. You know what I mean? So.
And if now adults are on social media saying this stuff, that's an adult on that video saying that this is okay, and you make the decision. I'm like, how can you tell a middle school child that they can make a decision for themselves? That is like, you don't, that's ridiculous to me. That is absolutely absurd that would be released on social media, and Planned Parenthood said that was okay.
We know scientifically, you know, because, you know, I know you like a little nerd activity. You like a little information. You know, scientifically, our brain's not fully developed until what, 22? I mean, 22, I think, or 22 or 25. One or the other.
Yeah.
So I know it's one or the other. So you telling me that an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old can make a decision at that age to say that, yeah, I'm gonna spread my butt cheeks open for this. No, you know what? I think we got the point. We got the point.
You're not even paying bills yet. You can't make no decisions.
Exactly. You know what, Rose? Let's go ahead and get back into these R&B hits. Ladies and gentlemen, parent your kids, because it's not the responsibility of the school, and obviously this is what they're teaching them. So, with that being said, we're gonna get back into these R&B hits. It's Global R&B 96.3. You're still in the red light basement. You still got DJ Rose J, and your boy DJ J Thrill. We'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? You want to get some more exclusive content? You need to like and subscribe to the Global R&B 96.3 YouTube channel. I'll be waiting.